Hey there, everyone. Dr. Beth Westie here, and I wanted to pop on and talk about first things to look at when you are looking at fixing your hormones and losing weight. These are things that I talk about a lot. This is, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you should do that now. Subscribe to Dr. Beth Westie. I talk about this a lot in all those videos. Yes. And for those of you that have been watching and following the 12-week challenge, the wait list was opened and it is now closed. So if you are still looking at getting your hormones tested, checked, working, on these issues, I'm going to put this link here for the one-to-one level that I have, because that would be the other way to get started with a lot of these issues. So when we look at this, when we look at fixing your hormones, a lot of times you get frustrated. Hi, Sherry. We get frustrated because this feels like we run in circles a lot, right? Like I have these hormone issues, and I gained weight, and now I need to lose weight and fix my hormones. But which comes first? What do I do first? What happens? Right? Can I just lose weight and that should fix my hormones? That's it. That's what my doctor told me. That's how this is going to work, right? No, no. Yeah. The reason why your body gains weight and resists losing it is because your system has a hormone imbalance. It's a protective mechanism for the female body. That's how it works. Yeah. So you can't, my favorite new thing, you can't kale your way out of it, can't outrun it. I don't care if you're eating the cleanest diet ever. I don't care if you're doing like the most perfect thing ever. Your system will not allow you to release that weight because it's being protective because of these hormone issues, right? So if you're like, yeah, I need to fix my hormones and I need to lose weight. Hi, I tell everybody about this and how they need to follow you. Yes, perfect, Jerry. Yes. Um, but this is one of the things that will enlighten you and really let you know exactly what's going on with your system. So the Dutch test. This is called, it stands for Dutch, stands for Dried Urine Test for Comprehensive Hormones, DUCTH test. This is a hormone test. It is done through your urine. Why do we test through the urine? Why is this important? Because it doesn't just give us your overall levels of hormone, but it tells me how your body's processing your hormone. I actually went through a Dutch test today with somebody. Today, like this is fresh. And what this gal had going on was really unusual. She didn't have estrogen dominance. She actually had progesterone dominance. This is not a common thing for a lot of women. It presents hormonal issues, but it presents them in a slightly different way. And if you were to do things that most people do for estrogen dominance, they're not going to work for you at all. And it's going to actually kind of backfire. Yeah, yeah. That's not what we want at all, is it? No, no. And then some of her issues with cortisol, as I was going through, because she's like, yeah, it doesn't really look that bad. And when I went through and explained what was going on, she was like, oh my gosh, that totally makes sense. And I was like, yeah, because her pattern was really wonky. I said, this is how your body is sleeping. It's not repairing really well, which does not set you up for success the next day. And then your system is going to crash at this point, and it's going to require more energy, which then this, and this happens, and you become nutrient depleted, etc., all these things. And she was like, that's exactly how it feels. I was like, yep, because that's what's happening. It's right here. It's right here on the test. And it's so interesting to go through these because I love going through these. I love going through Dutch tests. And she actually said this today on the phone. She was like, this is so validating to hear, to see these numbers, to understand what this means. I was like, yep, because it's showing exactly what your system is doing. Like you're not crazy, you know? And so she was telling me what she was doing workout wise and all those other things. I was like, okay, stop doing some of that. Some of that is not good. Some of it's okay, but some of it's not good. It's making this issue worse. You got to wait till this repairs in your body and then we can go through and then your system can handle it. Otherwise, it's really wrecking your cortisol levels. Stop doing that. You know what I mean? So when you're looking at what do I do first, where do I get started, really getting your hormones tested properly, understanding what your levels are and how your body's processing everything sets you up for success on the right path. From there, getting a guided plan. I have worked with people that have had Dutch tests done or other testing done, and nobody goes over the test with them. You need somebody to explain it to you, and then you need a guided plan. You know, this is not right. Like I spend an hour going over this with you, an hour going over 6 pages of information because it's that much information. That's how much you learn about your body and your system. It's a lot. It's like drinking from a fire hose. But it makes so much sense once we go through it, but not to have a plan from that. And then I still send you a follow-up from there. Like, here's what we talked about. Here's your thing, and here's recommendations, and here's your next steps. There's got to be next steps. Otherwise, it's just dumping a ton of info on you, and then you're like, "Oh my God, what do I do? Like, what do I do next? How do I navigate this?" Right? It's not reasonable to expect you to navigate this on your own. You know what I mean? It's not. This is not something that most people have to navigate on their own. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's very important that you have some type of guidance, a guided plan, somebody that you're working with so that you can really take it to the next level and that you're not getting stuck again and again and again. One other thing with having that guidance is also giving you proper timelines because of how long it takes the body to process through things. You know, if you have certain conditions, you know, if you have Hashimoto's, if you have an autoimmune issue, if you have MTHFR, if you have other processing things going on, those are not good or bad or whatnot. It just means that your system is functioning at a different level. So it's important to understand how long it would take your body to have these things turn around. Otherwise, one of the biggest things that people make a misstep on is not doing something long enough for their system. I mean, the reason why I have a 12-week challenge is because it takes 12 weeks for a hormonal shift in the body. The entire thing is built off of the female body. Everything I do is built for female physiology. That's how I created it all. And then the timeline is based off of what your system really needs. Even if you're making a healthy change, by ending it too early because it's not showing enough results can be one of the biggest things that you're missing. So one of the biggest pieces of guidance is also getting proper timelines. Proper timelines for what to expect from your system. Because again, if your system is really stressed out, if you're nutrient depleted, you have to replenish those nutrients before you can have the next step happen. And sometimes it can take 6 weeks to replenish nutrients. That seems like a really long time. Why would it take that long? Why couldn't I just take some vitamins one day and the levels be better the next day? Because that's not how physiology works. And if you are stressed, if your system does not sleep well, right? If you have other things going on, right? Creatinine levels are off. All these other things. Again, things that we go over in the Dutch test. It doesn't happen overnight. That would be so great. That would be so great if it did. But it's important to understand the healing processes in your body. And I don't want to just say patience, right? But to understand how long that really, really takes. So these are the things to really focus on. This is why I do what I do. This is why we go through all this information because it makes the biggest difference and it gives you the right path to set on. So resources I have for you. Resources. If you have not read my book, The Female Fat Solution, this is all about the Eat for Your Cycle method, or The Female Menopause Solution, all about nutrition for perimenopause and menopause. They are on Amazon. Lots and lots of resources in here. I do talk a lot about this stuff in detail in these books. And like I said, my YouTube channel is called Dr. Beth Westie. You can subscribe to that because I do, break a lot of things down there. And my podcast is called The Female Health Solution. Lots of great episodes coming out. And I recently did one talking about my brown recluse spider bite. If you checked my stories and you were like, what is this? Why is there a picture of a spider bite here? Because I got bit by a brown recluse spider. Yeah, I live in Minnesota. They're not supposed to be here. They're not supposed to be here. Apparently they are making an appearance. Yep. So it's been almost 2.5 weeks and I'm better. Not 100%, but getting there. Yeah. Yeah. So lots of fun stuff like that, as well as other really helpful information on my podcast. So that's what I got for you guys tonight. Let me know if you guys have questions. Let me know if there's other topics you want me to dive into. I'm more than happy. If I mentioned something here, if you want me to talk about detox pathways or other, if you want me to do another one on MTHFR or something like that, let me know. You can either put it in the comments. If you're ever not comfortable commenting, you can always send me a message privately asking a question or asking for more resources on something, and I can do a video on that as well. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and I will see you later.